My name is Dr. Beth Greene, and I'm a chiropractor in Haverhill, Massachusetts at New Life Chiropractic. I've been in practice for 23 years, and I'm excited to share some helpful information today about yard work and gardening. So it's spring, almost summer here in New England, finally, and a lot of my patients come in this time of year complaining about pain and discomfort and injuries after working out in the yard or gardening. So I'd like to talk about some helpful hints on how to best garden and do yard work without having pain. And certainly also, if you do get pain, what to do about it. So believe it or not, yard work requires a lot more twisting, bending, and lifting than you might think. So my first suggestion and recommendation is to get a chiropractic tune-up or an adjustment. You very well could be out of alignment, your spinal segments could be subluxated, and you don't even know it or feel it. If your spine is out of alignment and subluxated, it can set you up for pain and injury, even if you just go out and you bend for the first time. Sometimes people say, my back hurt, I didn't even start yet. Well, very often you've been out of alignment, you didn't feel it, one motion just caused it to be pain. So I would certainly suggest that, and if you've never been to a chiropractor, it would be a great time to start. The next thing I would suggest, and I say this all day long, and I have mine right here, is drink water before you start. I'm constantly reminding my patients to drink water. Why? Because our body is 75% water, and it needs hydration. So it's important for every cell, tissue in our body to be hydrated so everything can function properly. So including your muscles, joints, and your discs. So a common mistake many people make is that they wait until they're thirsty or they're so hot and dizzy and they think, hey, I'll go in the house and grab a drink. Well, it's far too late by then. You're already dehydrated. So if you wait until you're thirsty, it's definitely too late. So that's why I tell my patients to start drinking water first thing in the morning when they wake up. Don't wait until the afternoon and then start making up. Dehydrated muscles and discs are certainly more prone to injury. So you want to keep hydrated. Can't stress this enough. Stretching. So stretching is certainly something we all think about doing before going for a run or a walk or before our workout. But maybe not when we're going to go out in the yard and pull some weeds and do some yard work. But stretching is a great way to ensure that you don't injure yourself with repetitive motions like yard work and gardening. Again, you can just stretch basic muscles. If you're going to, obviously, you're going to use your upper arm. You can stretch the muscles here. You can certainly, stretch the back here. I'm not going to go into these in detail. You want to stretch your leg muscles for sure, your quads, your hamstrings. Certainly, I don't have time to go over all general stretching today. I might do it in another segment, but certainly, if you have any questions, you can contact me via my email. It's drbeth@newlifechiropractic.net. The next thing I want to talk about is get the right tools for your activity. Using the right tools help prevent injury, and it prevents bad posture. Don't waste money on really inexpensive tools that don't serve you. So for instance, this is a small shovel. You don't want to grab your son's shovel. It's too small, and you don't feel like going in your garage and finding you, and then all day long you're doing this, and you're having bad posture, and you're creating a lot of strain on your back. You don't want to do that. You want to get something that really fits you. Because otherwise you're going to, again, set yourself for injury and pain and muscle discomfort. So again, be sure your rake and your shovel is not too large or too heavy or too small. The next thing I want to talk about is lifting and bending properly. Now, certainly this is a no-brainer, but I can't even begin to tell you how many patients I see every day. They know how to lift properly, but they haven't made it a habit. And, I can be guilty of that as well. Proper bending and lifting and proper posture, again, will help prevent injuries and pain. So most people have heard that they should lift with their legs, but very many people have no idea why. They just said that's how you're supposed to do it. The reason is that the muscles in your upper legs, the quads, the hamstrings, the glutes, even the lower back, they are the largest and strongest muscles in our body. So if these are strong, then they are going to assist with the lifting. So that's really why it's crucial to do that too. So let those muscles do the lifting and not your back. So I have some amazing exercises to strengthen these big muscles. They're called foundation exercises. The premise of these exercises is to strengthen the largest, strongest muscles in your body, the quads, the hamstrings, the glutes, and even your back. So they will protect the rest of your body. Most people think they have to strengthen their core, thinking they're ab muscles only. Oh, I got to do my core, my core, my core. I have many patients who make this big, it's a huge mistake to make. They'll do thousands or hundreds of sit-ups a day. Now, while these abdominal muscles can help protect your back, very often people are only doing ab muscles. So they're creating an imbalance, and so these are strong, and then these are weak, and that sets yourself up for injury as well. So while the abdominal muscles certainly protect your back, they're really small. So for every ab muscle you do, you should be doing 3 other larger muscles. These are really what's carrying you through. These are not. Again, I don't have time to go over all the foundation exercises today for this segment. However, you can email me and I give you more information. Possibly we can go over on another segment. To just talk about weeding the garden and things like that. So again, you want to keep your back upright and then do as much as, you'll have to bend over a little bit, but try to keep the back in good posture upright. So then weeding like this. A lot of people make the common mistake of just bending down and weeding like this. And again, you're putting stress and strain on your back muscles that way. So again, it should be like this. So here's a quick guide to proper lifting. So I'm going to bring this here. I'm going to grab my little box. So I'm just going to demonstrate, even though you all know. So again, we want to start with our legs. Now again, I'm reiterating this, is that if our leg muscles are weak, guess what? We're going to start to use them, and they're not going to be able to support us, and then we're probably going to hurt something. So that's why it's important to really strengthen those legs and those glutes before you start lifting, because it's just not going to do any good. But anyways, proper lifting is, again, bending at the legs, keeping the back straight. We're not bending over, and then using those leg muscles to lift. So that's proper lifting. So you're really, now if your leg muscles are, mine are pretty strong, I can do that. If your leg muscles are weak, they're just not going to support the lifting. The improper way to do it is to do, a lot of people do this, and then put it over here. And they do this, and they put it over here. That is the wrong way to lift, because you're going to put a lot of stress and strain on this lower back here too. So again, another thing to remember when you're lifting and even shoveling is if you're lifting a heavy load, and even if you're using your legs, and then you twist to put it down somewhere, that can cause a lot of pain and injuries in your lower back and your discs. So you don't want to do that as well. Okay, so now I'm going to use the shovel to demonstrate. Again, you want to pick a proper shovel that fits you. It's not too small. You're not bending over. Again, shoveling, whether it's dirt or snow, again, you want to 1 foot in front of the other, and then you want to lift the dirt. Now, and then a lot of people, what do? They just twist. Again, lifting a heavy load and twisting is going to cause a lot of strain on the lower back and can injure discs and even cause them to herniate. So this is how you shovel. Again, you use your legs, the nice strong legs. You shovel wherever you want. You move your body, and then you put the dirt where you want to. Shovel, move your body, put the dirt where you want to. Very often in the snow, I just do this. So then I'm never twisting. So that's the proper way to shovel. Now I'm going to talk about raking. So again, you want a rake that fits you. You don't want it, a little child's rake and be bending over all day. Pick a rake, again, rake that fits you. Same stance here. 1 foot in front of the other. Nice strong legs. And you want to rake in front of you. That's how you rake in front of you, because you're not twisting. And then you want to change positions. Again, rake in front. What do most people do? They're like this, and they're twisting and twisting. You do that all day long, and you're going to create a lot of stress and strain on your low back. So try to maintain upright posture. Switch hands frequently, every few minutes, so you can create balance, and so you're avoiding overuse type of injuries. Also, changing activity and positions often. Maybe not raking for 4 hours. Do a little bit of raking for a half hour, then do a little bit of shoveling or a little bit of gardening, and then go back and forth like that too. The next thing I want to say is certainly know your limits, or try to think ahead. There's no award given out to people who lift too much or who can do the yard work the quickest. We all get in our head, this entire yard needs to be completed today. Well, guess what? It doesn't matter. If your back and body are far more important than your yard. What's the sense of having a nice yard and garden if you are so injured and you can't enjoy it? So think long term and plan ahead. Now I'm going to talk about if you experience pain. Hopefully we're avoiding the pain, but if you're experiencing even just some tightness, remember that pain is your body's way of talking to us. It's your body's way of saying, hey, there's a problem here. It's not meant to ignore it. If you're just having a little bit of achiness, well, you might want to rest a little bit, have some water, take a break. That's the best way too. Another thing a lot of people make a mistake is they put heat on it right away. I wouldn't suggest that. Heat brings blood flow to the area and actually increases inflammation. I would recommend ice. If you're ever in doubt, use ice. Now, certainly, if you're just achy and things like that, you can take a hot bath with Epsom salt after a long day out in the yard. But remember to follow it up with ice, if you have pain, to decrease any inflammation. So what happens is the moist heat brings blood flow into the area. It does increase inflammation if there's any there. And then the ice, putting ice on it, brings blood flow out of the area and decreases any inflammation. So it causes a pumping action, blood flow in, blood flow out. So that can be helpful for the tissues. So what happens if you didn't do any of these tips and you forgot and you just went out in the yard and went nuts and then you just can't move? You're like, great, I can't move. What do I do? Believe it or not, some people keep going. Big mistake. Your body wants you to stop. Again, the biggest thing, you want to put ice on it. But I want to talk about what's happening when we're having a health crisis and our back hurts. Is very often we'll get muscle spasms. So our muscles, are all spasmy. But that's actually a good thing because it's often our body's way. It's a defense mechanism. Your body's tighten up in order to protect those joints and those discs in the back, and they act as a natural splint. So your body's doing the best it can with what it has. So your body is so smart, it knows how to protect itself. So in this case, if you're having severe back spasms and you can hardly move, stop, ice immediately. Also, if your body is in this kind of health crisis, it's not the time to start stretching. I get this question all the time. You can't stretch your way out of a health crisis. If you're in this kind of crisis, the best thing to do is certainly get to your chiropractor, get checked, and maybe help this healing get started. Once your body calms down a bit and the muscles relax a little bit more, then you can start to slowly stretch. And that's why I suggest stretching before things happen. I stretch, stretching before you start all this yard work. That's the importance of that. So I hope this gave you some helpful information for when you go out and do your yard work and gardening. So again, my name is Dr. Beth Greene with Healthy Living. For more information about the things I discussed on this show, or any other questions, feel free to go to my website, or you can email me at drbeth@newlifechiropractic.net. I love to get questions from viewers, and I'll answer any on my next show. Until then, I hope you can enjoy your gardens and yard in excellent health. Thank you.